Hi folks, Mayor Kevin Davis. You know, we've done a great job so far, but we can't forget, for a long time now, we're still going to have to wash our hands, maintain the 6 foot separation, and no gatherings in excess right now of 5. Let's not forget that big weekend coming up, Mother's Day. We all want to wish our mothers the best. And that, more than anything else, large gatherings, if we look to past history, that is a great virus spreader, gathering. So as much as we want to maintain that social contact with our relatives and friends, we're going to have to hang in there. And I think it's going to be some time before we can have gatherings larger than 5. Watch for that and please obey that and follow it. Don't want to have to send out the bylaw enforcement officers after you. But I really want to talk about, you know, what do I do to get through this? People ask me that, you know, being married, a lot of stress. How do you get through the day, and how have you done this for 7 weeks? And for me, what it is for me is really important to take one day at a time, and each day I'm making sure I follow a routine. Like getting up, trying to get up at the same time, have a shower, follow that procedure, get dressed, almost like I'm going to work, and I generally go to work every day. So it's easier for me to be busy. But I think that's the key, that if you're not working, having a routine and keeping that routine day in, day out, maybe take up a hobby or learn a language, do something that's constructive, that'll keep you engaged, reading a book. But, you know, that's the key. The other thing that really helps me is my family. And I'm lucky in the sense that I had my maternal grandparents. They really took me underneath their wing when I was a boy. And my grandmother was 18 in 1918, and she was a rural school teacher. And they told me stories, my grandparents, about the Spanish flu, how my grandmother, she was the second wave in the fall, which was very serious. They closed all the schools, all the teachers became nurses' aides. She actually contracted the virus near the end of the second wave, almost died, but she survived. And then they would tell me stories about the Great Depression. They were middle-aged parents, had a son and a daughter, and they would tell me how they got through the Great Depression. And then, of course, they lived through World War II. And, you know, I'm sure they didn't know that the stories they were telling me when I was a young boy, that I would remember later in life, and that those stories, I think about them every day. My grandparents and the stories they told me, thinking, you know, my grandparents got through a lot worse, because the Spanish flu was much worse than what we're experiencing. And not to mention the Great Depression, of 8 years of nonstop economic depression, and they got through it. So that's what I tell myself. My grandparents, who I dearly loved, they got through it, I can get through it. And so it's fortunately I've had that family history, and having spoken to people who survived it and lived through it, that I hang on to that. I'm right where my grandparents were to some degree. So no, I know everybody doesn't have that history they can fall back on, but it speaks to family, right? And so having family supporting you is, you know, critically important. Maintaining that reach out to family, or if you don't have direct family in Brantford, you know, reaching out to friends, reaching out to acquaintances, give them a call, offer to help them if you can. Maintaining the social contact that we're allowed to have or can have under the current restrictions. So that is some of what is important to me and how I get through. Everybody has a different routine and different ways of dealing with the mental stress of the COVID-19 pandemic, but we got to deal with it, because we got to get through it, and we're getting through it, and we will get through it. So there you go. Hope I didn't bore you, and have a great day and a great weekend. Remember, no gatherings greater than 5.